G'day YouTube, down to Bricks and welcome to this week's video, a video on the Creator Expert vehicles. Now I've made no secret of the fact that I'm a big fan of this line, and in fact it's my most anticipated Creator Expert release of the year. That's right, even over the modulars. And it wasn't always like that, but over the years putting this collection together, I just absolutely love it. So what I thought I'd do today is have a chat about each of these builds and then pick my top three. So why did I go a top three? Well, a little while ago I did a top 5 Lego ideas video, and the reason that I did a top 5 in that video was to make it a little bit difficult to pick 5 sets out of an awesome theme. And I'm going to do that again today, but to pick 5 here would be a little bit easier because I've only got 8, so to pick 5 out of 8, that'd be pretty easy, but to pick 3 out of 8, that is bloody difficult, but we're going to do that today. And what I thought I'd actually do is something a little bit different. I'm going to start at my number 1 because it was very easy for me to pick my number 1. And in fact, it was very easy to pick my number 1 and 2, but to pick my number 3, that was very hard indeed. And in fact, I've had to sort of really talk through it to myself to try and work it out. And I thought, why am I doing talking to myself when I can talk to you guys? So we're going to do that. So without further ado, what is my number 1 out of all of these vehicles here? Well, before we get to that, we better talk about what we have here in front of us and what's missing. So from this end, we've got 2011 all the way from 2019. So what's missing here is 2008. In 2008, Lego did a VDub Beetle, very similar to this. Well, actually, it's not similar to that at all. It's just the same vehicle. Personally, I never considered it part of this line, but if you look it up on Brickset, they do include it in this theme. So that set there doesn't appeal to me at all, so I've never had any interest in going back and picking it up since we have this beautiful model right here. Now on the other end of the scale, we got 2020. This year that we're in, we have the Fiat 500. Now I do intend on picking that one up. I am waiting to find it on sale. I don't want to pay full price. Actually, I'm just thinking here, I don't think I paid full price for any of these. So I always wait till I get them on special. So I'm still waiting for that one to come up on a deal. But I have to say, I do love it. I love the color of that Fiat 500, but it's not a real iconic vehicle for myself, so it would never make the top 3. But as I said, I am looking forward to picking that up. But let's quickly go through what we've got here. So from 2011, we have the VDub Camper. Now it took a few years. I think what happened was that one sold so good, Lego went, you know what, we should make a whole line out of this. So it took them a little while to get their act together. So in 2014 we got the Mini Cooper, 2015 we got the Ferrari F40, 2016 we got the VDub Beetle, 2017 we got the London Bus, and in 2018 we got the Aston Martin DB5, and then in 2019 Lego thought they'd treat us with 2 sets, so we got the Ford Mustang and the Harley Davidson Fat Boy. So that is what I have for my collection, and in displaying these I always include the Caterham as well, the Ideas Caterham. But we'll get to that in another video. But so let's get on with what my top 3 is. So my number 1 out of all these sets, without a doubt, is the Ford Mustang. And the reason why is it's a muscle car. Out of all vehicles, muscle car is what speaks to me. I'm actually more of a Holden / Chevy fan, and you know, I've had my fair arguments over Holden versus Ford over the years. you guys in the States won't really know what I'm talking about with Holden, but yeah, let's just say Chevy versus Ford, maybe that would resonate with you guys. But it's a muscle car, it's a Mustang, it is beautiful, and I absolutely love it. And what I love about this is, one thing, not only, like I said, it's a muscle car, we get a lot of printed pieces. It's a beautiful color, this dark navy blue. I mean, that is one of Lego's best colors in my book. And the accessories we get with it as well. So, you know, we can have the blower out the bonnet, you've got the wing, you can put the skirting on the front, the exhaust out the side. I mean, there's just so many cool things that you can do with this model for display purposes. So that is, without a doubt, my number one. I just love playing with it. Okay, so where are we gonna go for number two? We've got some really great sets here, but for number two, I'm going to go a vehicle that I'd never hope to own in any lifetime, I don't think, and that would be the Ferrari F40. And the thing about this one is, I actually wasn't too sure. It took me a while to pick this up because I wasn't too sure about it. And to be honest, I can't put my finger on why. I kind of just sat on the fence for a while, and eventually I picked it up, and then I built it, and then I just simply fell in love with it. And the things that I really love about it, I mean, I just love the design that Lego came up with. There's so many angles. It's a very hard, in my book, it's a very hard vehicle to put together in Lego, but you know, they just did a fantastic job to capture the angles. Oh yeah, what can I say about it? It's red, so that's always good. Red goes faster, as they say. Yeah, it's got some beautiful detail. The sports seats inside are great. It's just very, very nice. Unfortunately, you know, we did get some stickers with it. You know, that's part and parcel of Lego, unfortunately, to get some stickers, but what can I say? It is just absolutely beautiful. So now what I want to do is chat about each one, and then we'll sort of whittle it down a little bit. So what I'll do is we'll talk about it, and then we'll get them off the table, and we'll get it down that way. So let's start with, what are we going to start with that we can remove from the table? Well, I'm gonna say it's gotta be a bus. VDub and my wife are huge fans of the double-decker bus, and in fact, they actually put this together. I didn't build this one, and what can I say about it? It's iconic. It's something iconic from the mother country, and I had a great time just watching VDub and the wife put this one together. But at the end of the day, it is just a bus, so it's got to go. So the next one I'm going to talk about is the Aston Martin DB5. I'm a huge James Bond fan, so I love this build. But after building, I built this, I built the Mustang, and I built the Harley all in a row together, and I've got to say, I wasn't a big fan of the build of this Aston Martin. Now, I think some of the play features they built into it might have had something to do with it. I kind of find that the play features don't work particularly well. And the other thing is, by putting the ejector seat in it here, where they've used this big tile piece, but it's not a regular tile. It's made out of, it's actually, sorry, it's not made out, but it has this flat finish rather than the gloss of a tile, and it really just stands out. I really don't like that at all, and it doesn't sit quite well. I actually really feel like just taking this section apart and just filling that in with tiles, and I probably will do that at some stage. But I've got to say, I love James Bond, so I do really love it. It does look great. I love the wheels, love the hubs that come with it. We get some nice silver chrome-like pieces as well. Because some of the play features, things don't quite line up like on this bumper here. So there's a few things about it, and again, I think it just ties in by them trying to put these play features in. So ultimately, as a display piece, I prefer that they didn't do that at all and just focus on the look of the vehicle over anything else. But you know, it is Lego, so they like to have the play features. But because of those reasons, I'm going to take this off the table. Alright, now this is getting tricky. So we're almost down to where I would have been with my top 5. So I'm going to have to say the next one we're going to talk about is a VDub Beetle. There is so many things to love about this set. One of them is this beautiful colour. Isn't that just fantastic? But I just love all the accessories you get with this as well, with the surfboard and the esky, how you can fold out the blanket. You know, it's just so cool to have those accessories. Had some very nice detail on the interior as well. We do get a number of stickers again with this set. The other thing I really love is we got Queensland number plates for it, so how cool's that? But at the end of the day, this is one that I am going to take off the table. One of the things, probably the main thing that I don't like about this set is the bonnet. Just the angle of the bonnet there. I don't think they captured that particularly well, but in saying that, it's very hard to capture indeed. I mean, it's near impossible to get that. Well, I actually probably think it is impossible to get that sloping bonnet on this build. So what Lego did, I think, is great, but it just takes a little bit away from this build when you're looking at it on display. Okay, so here is my top 5, I guess. But we're going to keep going here. So which one am I going to talk about now? And it's going to be the Harley Davidson Fat Boy. Now, I love this motorbike, and I've got to say, I am not a motorbike fanatic. I'm not a motorbike fan. I'm not particularly keen on motorbikes. But if I'm going to pick a motorbike, it's going to be a Harley, isn't it? It's got to be a Harley. And the thing that really got me with this build was exactly that. The build. As I said, I built the Aston Martin, I built the Mustang, and then I built the Harley all in a row. And out of all of those 3 sets, I enjoyed the Harley build the most, which really surprised me. And I guess what really did that for me was how it has a lot of interior working. So it has the piston that goes up and down the shaft as you turn the wheel, and unfortunately it's not something you can appreciate once it's built, but it is something you really do enjoy when you're putting it together. And just the way they got some of the styles of the engine and the gearbox and everything, I just think that they did a really good job. Probably some of the things that I don't like is maybe the forks here may be a little bit chunky for what they should be. I mean, like I said, I'm no motorbike fanatic, so I don't really know that for sure, but it just seems to me like that would be a little bit chunky. But you know, what else could I say that that I don't like about it would be the stickers. This has a lot of stickers on it, unfortunately. Look, come on Lego, get with the program. You're going to give us a premium product, get rid of those bloody stickers. And I'm going to say this every time, Mega Bloks don't give us stickers, but you do, Lego. Get your act together and do better. We don't want stickers on these premium sets. But what do I love about it? The colour scheme, the big fat tyre. Who doesn't like fat rubber? This thing is chunky as. Look at the size of it. Look at to my finger. That is just fantastic. Oh, I just broke a piece off somewhere. I'll have to put that back on. No, I'm going to put it back on right now. There we go. You've got the kickstand, you get a stand foot, you got a kickstand, so you can have it on that as well. But yeah, I was really surprised with this build, and that's why it's so high on my list. Maybe over time, like the thought of the build will wear off, and it may slide on the list, on my top list. But as it stands now, this is right up there. And I just want to say one other thing is, at least we did get the printed symbol. I mean, that's a great piece from Lego, but it's got to go off the table. Okay, so we are getting there. It's come down to these two. So I'm going to talk about both of them before I tell you which has made it to the top three. So let's start with the Mini Cooper. Again, one of my favorite things about this is the color, the dark green. Again, that is one of my favorite colors, along with the dark blue, the dark green, and the maroon or the dark red. They're just fantastic Lego colors. But it's really just, for me, I just love this vehicle. I just think it looks so cool. I've never been particularly a huge fan of the Mini, but putting this together, seeing it on display, I really love it. I just love how the look of it, how squat it is. I mean, this thing looks like it would go around a 90-degree bend at 120 miles an hour without missing a beat. Some of the scaling's probably a little bit off. The size of the steering wheel in it, let's have a quick look at that. The size of the steering wheel in it, I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous. I don't know, I kind of feel like the scaling of it's probably out a little bit. It might be a little bit too wide or too short or something, but I don't know, I actually, in saying that, I think it sort of adds to the charm a little bit as well. I just love how low it is and how squat it is, and it's one of the things that really stands out to me as something to look at on display. And then we have the camper, and this thing is just packed with features. I mean, we've got opening doors, the side doors open, the back opens. We've got the boot panel. We can open the tailgate there. You've got a pop top on it. You can pop the top. You can take the whole roof off. It's absolutely packed with details. We've got hanging material curtains. I mean, this thing is absolutely superb. That's why it's so high on my list, because I absolutely love it. They just put everything they could think of into this camper. The design on the front to get that iconic front of the camper, I think Lego were very clever to use these rigid hose pieces, and yeah, it is just brilliant. So what is going to be my number three? Well, when you put them on display, it really, for me, comes down to what catches my eye when they're on display. So for me, out of these two, it's going to be the Mini Cooper. As I said, I just love the look of this thing. So there we have it, guys, my top three, and I think this speaks volumes to what sort of vehicles that I actually personally like. And I couldn't be happier with this selection, even though it was extremely hard to do, because this whole theme has some great vehicles, and that's where I want you guys to chime in, because I want to know what's your top three. Can you pick three out of this wave, out of this theme, and what is it that you really like about this theme, or is it that you don't like this theme? Let me know. You probably wouldn't have gone this far into the video if you didn't like the theme, but I want to hear from you guys. I want you to leave a comment below. I want you to tell me your top three and anything else that you want to tell me. Tell me what you thought about the video. Give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. A big thank you for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.